Hi everyone, Evgeny is back with you today, and this is a new video of a series about Windsurf Editor. And in particular, we are checking how good AI agent, which Windsurf provides, and the question we are trying to answer if this AI agent can replace us developers at the end of the day. So in this video, we are going from the simplest things to the more and more complex. And in this video, we are trying to utilize the AI agent with the task. So we ask what needs to be changed. We ask it to generate for us a plan with all the requirements and restrictions as well. So it should be done and it should be untouched, should stay untouched. And we will see how these agents doing this stuff and if it's capable of processing and finally again replacing us, the developers. So let's check how it's good. All right, our today's task is to enable using JWT tokens for authentication. And well, in general, at the moment we have basic authentication, and when we introduce JWT tokens, it's a bit different process. So you have to first, you're not providing your username and password as in basic authentication, but you have to request a JWT token and then use it when you are making calls, HTTP calls to the servers. But today, let's pretend we don't know about that at all. So what we have a code base, and we have a task that we have to use WT tokens. I have no idea what's that for authentication, and we check how clever the cascade is, the AI agent, and if it can help us here, meaning provide like leading role. So let's first ask with the question. Let me type it first. All right, we're here. I asked to analyze the code base for those who didn't have time to read through my instructions. And the agent was clever enough to announce that I am still on HTTP Basic Authentication, which is correct. So no JWT. And would you like me to help you with JWT? That's great, right? So uh, my idea would be that we would ask AI agent to help us implementing JWT authentication, but again, it's very risky if we just let it do this stuff from the start to the finish because there are a lot of changes in the code base and it's very hard to follow all the changes. So instead, we will ask the agent to generate for us a plan with smaller steps, which we will be implementing, applying gradually one by one and checking the results, and then we'll see how it goes. It's more or less the same as we did the last time, just in this case, in this video, we will try to be more precise and ask AI agent to provide for us more detailed instructions. So let me formulate that. All right, we're here, and again, I have no idea what would be the result of that task because it's AI and it works differently every single time. So it's also interesting for me how it goes. But in general, I would like to have a list of tasks, and every task should be very descriptive. So it should be gradually increasing functionality, and there should be definitions of what should be done, of what should not done as well, like not touched at all, because previously we had problems with that. And we will see how it goes. All right, let's review it quickly. It's a pretty big plan of 6 steps. You will see. Add JWT dependencies and core classes. Okay, it seems logical. And no changes to existing authentication flow, no modification to security config, and keep current basic auth working. Add unit test. Well, okay. Create authentication DTO and response classes. Create details, no modification. All right. Keep implement JWT filter. Okay. And controller. We need that one for getting probably our JWT token, right? Generate token for successful authentication and update security configuration at the end and client-side updates and documentation. And the last step, but probably the most important one, we have to update the documentation so it's clear how to use our new authentication mechanism. And as promised, I'm going to copy paste the first step and start a new session, and we will see how it goes. All right, I'm switching to write mode because now my expectation would be that the write changes. And again, I'm just copy pasting the step one definition. All right, after a couple of cycles of testing, everything seems we are finished, right? Let's review the changes. So in the POM XML, we have, what do we have here? I don't get it. Like everything was rewritten or what? Where are these changes? I don't see them. Okay, this is something I don't understand, but probably it's correct. We do have JWT dependencies, this one, and that one. But it's not highlighted in any way. Okay, I'm accepting everything, hoping that's fine. We do have properties file. Okay, we have to provide the secret key, which is unique for our application. And token expiration time in milliseconds. And this is, okay, it's 1 day. So next day you have to request your token again. And token issue task manager. All right. Let's change the secret key. And just take a look because I'm still not used to the CI agent, and my intention was that instead of searching for different plugins, I'm asking here the AI agent to generate me unique UUID, which I will copy paste here, but somehow it understood, somehow I don't know how, but and it did everything for me already. So we have this unique key and everything is fine. And I'm accepting the whole file and token util, what's here? It's a component and it takes properties as a parameter that gets signing key and having user details. Okay, which is the one from Spring. We generate the token. And expiration, it's again this 24 hours thing, and the signing key and everything is here. All right, it also looks good. And then we have test, which will be failing, I'm pretty sure, because the secret key is different now, right? We need to point this to AI agent. I will do even this one. Passing the exact place, I think, which is problematic. Interestingly, the tests are still passing that I like the best. All right, then I was wrong. This is the good demonstration that AI agent can be even better than normal developer. Yeah, right. That's bad me. We are creating properties, and these properties contain the proper one. All right, everything is good then. My bad. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. And we have finished with the first step. Let's go back and copy paste the second step. We have to create authentication details and response classes. Okay. And again, I'm in the right mood, so my expectation would be some file are changed at the end of this step. Okay, it's finished. And by the way, maybe the better approach would be to keep all the work in the first thread because there are a lot of context already defined, which would help AI agent. But well, first, for me, it would be really hard to scroll up somewhere kilometers up and find the next step to copy paste. And well, and from other side, we are trying to make smaller steps to show the clear picture, not influencing with different details, which might be not relevant because still agent, it takes everything as a context and it can be wrong, like just taking something which is not intended for this step. That's my understanding, at least for the process. All right, 3 new classes were created: authentication request, a DTO. Why you don't have DTO at the end? Response, another DTO. JWT user details, implementation of Spring security that wraps user, okay, and some validations in place. Lombok is used. Well, if you're not checking your files yet, everything looks very clever, right? Okay, what do we have here? We have a username and password, authentication request, then response. We do have a token, okay, and user details here. All right. Well, let's rename our request and response details. I don't like why it's not DTO at the end. We do have it for other classes, but not for create task request. Interesting. All right. All right, and let's double check that everything is fine and build the project. And I'm doing it here in the AI agent area because if something goes wrong, then the agent can take over and fix it immediately. All right, see, and that immediately was the case. And what I don't understand, I saw that POM XML was modified, but I don't see it here. Again, it was silently updated without me accepting the changes, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, let's continue. We have this DTO. Okay, we like it. Response, nothing special here. And JWT user details, some getters and setters. Okay, let's accept everything. Everything. All right. Okay, the second step was finished. At least we think it was like that. Uh, let's go to the third step. And here is more complicated because we have to create already something which should be injected in the whole flow at the end. This is authentication filter. Okay, and again, the new thread. And here, let me type it again to bring some context at least. All right, just blindly copy pasting everything and run the AI agent. All right, it's here. It says that the filter is marked as a Spring Bean component, but it's not added to the security chain, which was a requirement. And we still have basic auth in place, which is also nice, and no changes were made to these endpoints, and proper error handling is in place. Whatever it means, I have no idea. So let's check what we have here, and the filter is the main part, I think. It's a new component, and that's a standard HTTP filter, I think, right? Oh, it's the one from Spring, but under the hood it's the same, right? It's a filter. And what we do here, we're extracting the token from the request, from every request that comes to the server. And authentication is null, then, okay, we get the username from the token, and automatically, we're also checking the token lifetime. If it's expired already, then, well, authentication will not happen. And we create user details, and then we set it to the global security context holder. And we just keep doing the work of other filters. That's nice. And see, we need to set, go away, the name, the header in the request of authorization, and it should be bear token. So we start from this word and we provide the token we get from the authentication mechanism, but it will happen later. We'll see if AI agent also knows how to do this. And for testing, okay, what we do have here, some testing in place. I don't want to look into details. I'm just accepting everything. All right. Again, let's build a project because we do have tests, and it's very often that tests are created, but it's not possible to pass them through, right? All right, and as you have seen, immediately we have failures, right? And some changes we made here as well. This is test security config. Well, I'm not sure if this should be modified at this step because we have not injected the JWT token authentication in the system, but we are changing already some integration tests. Okay, and okay. But at least it's buildable, right? Let's see at the end if it's working or not. All right, we consider this test as step as finished, and let's go to the step number 4. And in this step, see, we create authentication controller, which would allow us to request for JWT token. That's my expectation, at least. Add integration tests restrictions. Keep basic as primary. New endpoint should be publicly available and no changes. Okay, let's try this step and see how it goes. And this is the drawback of what I'm doing. I'm creating a new thread all the time, and at least for AI agent, I think the way how it works, it's completely new request and it has no idea about any context. So I have to retype it all the time again and again. That we are implementing JWT token authentication. So this is why we have this step number 4. Well, I think it's stuck already on testing. Just continuously creating something. Ah, now it's here. Okay, now it's stuck. Probably have to stop it. All right, how should I proceed here without me doing something real? Let's check it here. Let's see, this is the problem. It still needs my help. It can't proceed without me. Maybe this is because my Docker container is not running. Okay, let's fix it one by one. All right. Sorry, it was my problem from my machine because I updated the operating system and everything was down. What do we have now? Let's see. Okay, now it's failing. Now we can ask our AI agent to check the output. All right, finally, right. But see, the more structural changes we are applying, the bigger chance that something will go wrong, especially if it changes touching our integration tests, for example, where most part of the system is affected. Okay, we do have filter already. It's interesting. Why? Because we still should be able to work with basic auth, but probably it's not the case anymore. And frankly speaking, I don't know how to solve that at all. I mean, gradually stepping, right? Tasks, we fine with those. What else? Token util. Where's the change? Interesting. I don't see the change at all. Oh, it was already applied, right? Maybe. Why it's shown here then? I don't know. We have a controller logging and it takes the authentication request DTO, which we created previously, and the response as well. And okay, what's happening here? We are trying to authenticate user, and if the authentication happened correctly, then we generate a JWT token and send it back. At least this is my expectation, but it looks like that, right? I'm accepting everything and test itself. Okay, I'm accepting everything. And this was step number 4. So let's go to 5. And maybe we will skip the last step, at least in this video, because it took already so long to solve these integration test problems. So I think everyone is bored already. So now we have to update the security configuration. All right, the only file was changed, and this is security config. So we don't have HTTP Basic anymore, and we have stateless sessions, which is needed, which is required for JWT token authentication. All right, looks like everything is okay now, and well, I will try to generate the documentation later. Probably it's not of your interest, but maybe the last step, let's give it a try and check if well, if the old method is still working or not. I mean, HTTP basic authentication. What do we have here? We don't have any HTTP examples, right? Do we? No, we don't. All right, that's not a problem. Let's ask this guy. And let's check how clever this tool is. Let me make it bigger. I'm switching to chat because maybe you're right. I don't know. All right, we are using this curl and who's admin? Who's admin, by the way? It's still admin, but okay, it still tries to get list of tasks, and now it knows, okay, we are using JWT authentication. And well, we need to first get JWT token by authenticating. That's true. And then we use this token to access it. Right, it's totally fine. Okay, let's first make a call to get authentication token JWT. And I'm still curious who is admin because, well, I don't remember this guy at all. What are the correct credentials for authentication? Finally, right? All right, see now it's better, right? Because we created a user and then we asked for JWT token using username and password P, and then we do have the token. And now let's test if this token works actually. All right, so we have the get method, we have authorization there to the token we get from the last call, which is this one, right? It looks the same, and let's make a call. And now everything is fine. See, we have a content. It's a newly created user, so it has zero tasks at the moment. So the content list is empty and total elements is zero and everything is 0, 0, 0, 0. But anyway, it works, right? Our JWT authentication finally works, and well, it's totally work of AI agent who created this for us. Congratulations. Well, the short impression section from my side, I was really impressed today because, well, two cases where we were stuck, and both were because of me, developer, not because of AI agent. Like the first one, remember, I thought that okay, the test should be failing. I didn't go through the code, and it looked like that for me. But the AI agent told me, no, 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 everything is fine. And the second case was that my setup on a machine was not ready, prepared yet, without it was running without any Docker container in place, and then the whole operation was stuck, and that was completely was my fault. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this video, and next time we'll try even more interesting. See you next time. Bye bye.